Do I have everybody's attention now?
Welcome to STS Radio.
You just wait and see how far we're gonna go!
Because regular radio fucking sucks.
All right, everybody, on the phone line right now is Mr. Adam Richman. You may recognize him from Man vs. Food, Best Sandwiches in America, Food Fighters. And he's got a new show coming out on April 1st at 9 p.m. on the Travel Channel. It's called Man Finds Food. Adam, how you doing, sir?
I'm excellent. Thank you for having me on.
Not a problem, man. Tell me about this new show. Like, how did it come about? Like, how did you make the progress from Man vs. Food to Man Finds Food?
Well, Man vs. Food, was something I auditioned for. I didn't create. This was something that was a brainchild of mine and the folks that I had come to build Man vs. Food up with. But in my opinion, it's the best travel food show I've done. And that's not like some cool little soundbite. It really is. So what it is, it's about hidden restaurants and off-the-menu dishes. And with Man vs. Food, everybody used to always tell me, when I did like the AAA Great Vacations Expo, I sponsor a Little League here in New York, and, I would hear things like, oh, we never take a vacation without checking where you went first, or, I travel for work, and I always go to your location when I travel. And I take that stuff kind of seriously. So, not kind of, I take it seriously, but I really wanted to do something that had a real takeaway that people really cared about. And so I think that I used to watch TV shows, and it used to drive me up the wall, especially in the food space, when the host got to have this super cool exclusive experience, but I couldn't. And I think that's bull. And so what I wanted to do was really do something where everybody got a chance to feel that awesome, exclusive, I'm in the know kind of feeling. So we basically go all across the country, find restaurants that the locals themselves may not know about, like we found a restaurant behind a bookcase in Austin, Texas, in the basement of an office building in Milwaukee. We found a restaurant in a house in Chicago, in a house. Wow. And also off-the-menu dishes like, well, for example, in Nashville, there's a restaurant that is, that has a secret menu, but you have to get the password for the secret menu. Another place where there's a secret menu, but it's only on weekends and only available to people who sit within these 6 positions at the counter. There's another restaurant where it's, I'm trying to think of another, in Nashville, another place, you have to follow the chef on Twitter to get the password for whatever special dish he's choosing to offer that day.
That kind of makes it fun, though.
What's that?
I said that, that kind of makes it fun, though, so that's kind of cool, man.
Thanks, man. And it's the other thing that I think sets the show apart is this. I've been very blessed to have enough of a following that I've been able to do TV shows since 2008. And my crew are the unsung heroes to the max. They're just amazing people, Emmy winners and Emmy nominees and brilliant folks, and they don't really get their props. And I think that's also ridiculous. And so I wanted to show them in this show and include them because they're with me on the journeys. They're tasting the food, too, and their opinion is every bit as valid as mine. What we wanted to do was break the fourth wall and really show the journey we take. So, for example, we put a bunch of GoPros around the car. We have a follow car, and as we're driving around trying to find these restaurants and losing our minds because we know we're losing daylight, we were due at the restaurant by a certain time, we actually are showing you, the discovery of the restaurant. So as we find it, you find it. As we're breaking each other's stones because it's a long road trip or because someone did or said something stupid, we're on it. And it's real and it's fun and there's a lot of love between us, but there's also that banter. And I think that people used to give me a lot of grief and go, come on, Adam, you can't like every damn thing you try. Nobody does. So I think it's also kind of groovy that the crew is trying the food because you get their opinion as well.
That's awesome. I got to tell you a quick story here. With Man vs. Food, with Man vs. Food, I was like, all right, here's this guy. He goes around, does like this hot wing challenge. I went to some place in Framingham, Massachusetts after a party, and I did an atomic hot wing challenge. And everything I learned from you doing Man vs. Food, I used to that, and I actually ended up beating the challenge.
Yes.
But I ended up cursing your name afterwards because the thing about Man vs. Food they didn't show is you like. If you ate something with like ghost chili peppers and whatnot, it didn't see you like hallucinating or like almost throwing up in the toilet, and that's pretty much what I was doing. I was in my my buddy's bathtub for on and off for about 2.5 hours trying to get back to normal.
Oh my God, it's funny. The habanero fritters in Portland, which seemed like the most innocuous, nothing thing in the world. I was in the parking lot, hanging out with my crew. And suddenly it felt like I got kicked in the stomach from the inside by like a mule. I ran into the restaurant, which was closing up. I mean, chairs on the tables and stuff. I went into the bathroom, not knowing which end it wanted to come out of first. I literally fully clothed, just sat on top of the toilet, clutching my midsection until the pain passed. And I was able to stand up again, but I was in a cold sweat, and so someone else, I had said this in an interview, and some guy's like, Adam, you're such a bitch. I'll eat 20 of those damn things. I said, do it, and then post a picture. And I said, if you could do that, I said, I'll retweet it. I'll say you are the man, no problem. They're like, get ready to fall, bitch. So the guy ate all this stuff, whatever else. He woke up on his neighbor's lawn, not have any recollection how he got there. His friends didn't know how many times he had been sick. He had no shirt on his neighbor's lawn.
Oh my God. And
people don't know. That's why when everyone's like, hey man, you know what? This lady stopped me at LaGuardia Airport about a year ago. And she said, where can I get ghost chilies? I said, ma'am, I'm not going to tell you that. She said, excuse me? I said, no, I'm not going to tell you that. And she said, why would you? I said, because they're not to be trifled with. It's not something you mess with in a cavalier fashion. I said, ma'am, do you realize that they are weaponizing ghost chili extract in India and putting it into police grenades? I said, I was a fool and I ate them for television. I said, this is your husband. If you love him, please reconsider this course of action.
If you're planning on getting a divorce, though, go for it.
Oh, yeah. If you're planning on getting a divorce, put it in his toothpaste.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Put it everywhere. Put it in the eye drops and whatnot.
Oh, my God. You put it in eye drops. I dare not think about what that would be.
No.
Like, that's on some Wedding Crashers type-ish. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, because this is the truth, though. So I lost only one spicy challenge in the entire history of Man vs. Food, right?
Right.
And this is not an excuse, and we have the footage to prove this. So if the owner of the restaurant hears this and tries to tell me it's not true, we got the footage. It was at Munchie's 420 Cafe in Sarasota. JD was a cool guy. I mean, it's a stoner's delight. It's open from 420 to 420. They have these delicious teriyaki chicken nuggets, but they're called dank nugs. You know, there's a theme at play. And what was really quite crazy about it was the fact that he made the sauce for the wings according to his normal specs. I get out there and I'm getting the crowd hyped up, and I'm going, you know, you guys ready for a challenge? Are you guys great? You know, whatever. And you know, everybody was like getting into it. But meanwhile, I see my crew are kind of ashen, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I'm listening to this, and sure enough, the owner had said to his boys in the kitchen, yo, dude, let's just add the rest of the bottle. Let's just blow them out. The thing is, he could have actually killed me. And that's not hyperbole. He could have actually ended my life with that much ghost chili extract. So I do urge anyone who is even remotely considering a challenge like that, I always say, please be careful.
So, I'll just two more questions, and I'll let you get on with your day, sir.
Oh, it's all good, man. Whatever you gotta ask, all good.
All right, man. Now, a couple of years ago, there was a bit of a Twitter battle between you and Alton Brown, and I just wanted to know, I know there was both sides. He says, Man vs. Food was all about gluttony, it's wasteful, and you basically told him, look, that's not what it's about. It's about bringing, business to these mom and pop shows, but I'm trying to be entertaining about it. And he essentially wasn't getting that. So, was there a PS? Did you two try and connect to try and bury the hatchet or anything?
It's actually very funny. I was asked to do a Travel Channel versus Food Network Iron Chef, and it was going to be me and Andrew Zimmern with Morimoto, with Flay, Marcella, and I want to say maybe Ted Allen. And I was just like, I told the producer, I said, Alton, really, in my opinion, had crossed the line. And I wasn't comfortable doing that. They agreed. They put us on a phone together. And he maintains he never insulted me. And I said, dude, we are our shows. If you insult my show, it's naturally a reflection upon me. And he refused to accept the fact that these food challenges will exist with or without my show. They had existed in some cases for over 100 years with or without my show. Now my show has brought over, literally, every location has gotten 100 to 300% increase in business after being on any of my shows. That's what the show is about. Profiling local eateries, local food challenges, showing the fun and extreme side of eating in a given city. That's all it was about. He just didn't get it. He said he didn't have a problem with the indulgent nature of the food. He had a categorical problem with the food challenges. And when Andrew Zimmern wrote a very, very, I love Andrew with all my heart, wrote a profoundly supportive post. I forget, it was on either his website or Zaptuit or something, and he said, we've all made that Faustian bargain. None of us that are cooking, we're not cooking for blind kids at an orphanage somewhere. We're doing food TV and signing endorsement deals and walking red carpets at places and opening our restaurants and selling our goddamn cookbooks and our websites because we're out there to make $1.01 in this business and we like what we do. And the fact of the matter is, to cast aspersions about the subject matter of my show or his show or her show, we're all in this together. And again, Alton said, I reject that. I never made a Faustian bargain. Look, I can only say I could run my race. He's not going to see it my way. He, especially after his weight loss, obviously he has a very particular view upon food. He, it was a weird conversation because he would say things like, you're a star and I'm just this little lowly cook. I was like, dude, please. But, it's sad because I've loved him for many, many years. I've watched him for many, many years. His show was one of the shows that inspired me the most. I live in Atlanta, really started cooking in Atlanta, working in restaurants, full bore in Atlanta because that's where my acting career began. So it was frustrating, but it was one of those gotta agree to disagree things. And quite honestly, when you brought that up, I was like, wow, I legitimately haven't thought about that. What year was that? Was that was that 2010 or something?
I think so, yeah, 2010, 2011, somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the way I told Michael Ruhlman, I said the whole situation is resting, like meat just off a grill. We see things differently, and he's part of a very different sector of the food world. And as I told him, dude, one of us hosted the Beard Awards, the other one of us snuck in as someone else's +1. I'd rather be the people's champ. I'm not holding my breath for a Beard nomination. I'm not holding my breath for a Beard Award. I know that there is a certain strata of the food